Hello there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to Messing About with a Narrowboat. Start of another week. There's a bit of blue sky, so all the dreary overcast has gone for a day or two at least. It's still bitterly cold. So we're going to get on with quite a few jobs this week if I can. Come and join us, see how we got on. When we finished up at the last episode, it had been pretty cold most of the week, so by the time I got my targets finished, my tasks finished, I just dumped everything and ran. It was definitely cold, still cold. So before I start things this week, because I want to try and get the bed at least going, and it looks like it's going to be reasonably dry and reasonably warm, so I'll get some of the painting done that I chipped off. But first target is, because it's driving me up the wall, let's clear up some of this stuff. There's loads of things that we don't need anymore. I've got a box of painting bits, a box of tools that I don't need. I've got loads of wood that we don't need anymore. Tools lying around, things just lying around. So it's time to clear the decks, basically, so I've got room to move and put everything together. The likes of these bits, I don't want to throw them away just in case they come in handy for something. I'll certainly take them home, put them in my garage, and there's a few bits like that. Just get rid of the clutter. Pile for the car, pile for the bin. Whoa, look at the sawdust down there. So plan is to keep the panels and the chunkier bits of wood. They will do drawer bottoms, drawer backs, and get rid of all the little bits of strips that I kept just in case.
Oh, tidy up your room? Oh.
Yay, I've tidied the bedroom.
You look tidy.
And Roma, who's at work, don't say a thing that I've tidied the bedroom. And I've also started marking out where the bed is going to go. But luckily, all the measurements we did, 9 months ago, we marked out the floor, is working out exactly as we predicted. Who would have thought? Perhaps now you can see why we've been trying to get the window linings and that end done and the ceiling up before we start building the bed and fitting out the water tank, because there's just no room at all. Once we start fitting the bed and the headboard, yeah, it'll be really difficult. It's quite difficult to kind of walk down there. Not that we would ever do that. That's going to be a bedside cabinet and a little shimmy walkway. Just got the rest of the place to do. I think that'll be tomorrow because it just takes ages. I said it was a bitty week. While I've been tidying up the boat, I've also been varnishing the window frames. I am so sick of the grey and the rain. I don't think we're going to get a video done this week at all at this rate. Stuck in a bit of a circle. I need to get the windows lined, but to do that I need to paint because all the paint got chipped off. I need to put the ceiling up in the bedroom, but to do that I need to put the horn and the tunnel light on, and I can't do that because it's pouring a rain and cold and the mastic won't set. Yeah, I can't do the bed either because I need to finish off that far corner of the boat. I could move further down, but I need to clear that out and it's so wet and muddy. I really don't want to. So in a bit of a circle. Bit of a rubbish week, really.
Welcome to this week's edition of Everything Stinks.
Nevertheless, got to crack on. So down at the yard, down into the mud. Let's see what we can get done today. So it's supposed to be stopping raining in an hour or so. You know what forecasts are like. But I think what I'll do is I'll sand this bit down. This bit down is a big chunk out of there, which will need reprimed really, because on the other side. I'll get it prepped up, and then when it stops raining, I'll put a quick dab of paint on it. So it's interesting the things you find when you tidy up. And we've got this lovely European oak rather than American oak. It's a bit more rustic looking, and that will be for the hatch doors. Now I knew I had it, but I genuinely thought it was in the house. A bit of a surprise to find them under a pile of boxes here. I must have been in one of those optimistic moments when I thought, I'll fit the door hatches. just wrong. And having moved the boxes, I found a wall socket that I haven't wired up. Still raining. While I've been doing that, I took the door off from the bow starboard one, the one that's not closing, and I've just seen what the problem is. See the angle on that? That corner is digging in. That's why it's never been shutting properly. It's a big dollop of weld on it. So I'm going to grind it back. I don't have a grinder, which I think would be a bit vicious anyway. So I'm just going to use a file. Look who's arrived. Bring any sweeties?
Lentil crisps, chips and fruit bar and tea.
Alright, that's rubbish. Oh, look. So, the big difference with that is it's not springing open. Every time I shut the door, it would spring open. It is no longer springing open. So there's still a wee bit to go, but I'm on the right path. I just need to make sure I take enough filing off for when I come and paint it again, it'll put the thickness back on. Cool, we have a solution. Oh my goodness, it closes. Now that's all it was in the end. Big bit of weld was stopping it. Should have checked it first. Ah well, I enjoy painting. You know, that's the first time since we got the boat that I can close those windows and they don't bounce open. If you've got a similar problem, and a note to self for the other windows if I have the same problem, check for welds before you start buggering about with hinges. Although to be fair, it is definitely a combo of the hinges because they were out of alignment and that big dirty dollop of weld was stopping it shut.
Miserable.
First bit of wood for the ceiling.
Yeah, look at that. Take it back.
Fitted in my car.
Take it back, I don't like it. Can you manage there?
Oh, blimey. It's a bit heavier than
Do
the
you want
other
me to
plywood.
hold an end? Oh, will that help?
Well, we made it. Thank goodness it's moisture resistant MDF. So Roma and I are looking at this. This is 9mm moisture resistant MDF and it is bloody heavy. There's no way the two of us are going to be able to lift it up, even with props, and I've got plasterboard props. But even just getting it up there and holding it up is going to be an interesting challenge. We're going to have to recruit some help from some friends.
Yeah, definitely.
But more importantly, it is so heavy. I'm just wondering whether that is the right thing to put on the ceiling. I mean, it's got to be twice the weight of the 9mm ply I've got on the sides. In reality, I've got battens running all the way down the boat, and those battens are screwed into steel ribs. So there's enough weight distribution in the ceiling to take it. It's whether or not it'll rip the screws through it.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
Let me know in the comments what you did or are doing or anything like that. The norm says about 6mm ply on the ceiling, and I get that, but this you can't get 6mm tongue and groove boards, and I see so many people use it, so it must be okay. It's just really heavy. So the alternative is just to do it manually with some, this is only 8mm, 6mm TNG. It's lighter, more manageable with one person and the props.
It would mean you would need, this one is so heavy, you would need.
You're right, so I can cut the holes before we put it up.
Cut the holes where?
On that panel before we put it up. That's what we've measured, where all the holes will go.
Have a think. Let's have a think rather than will we buy any?
Don't know. I'm tempted. I'm really tempted just to go individual slats. They need to be sanded and primed and painted. So it's just going to take. It's just going to take a long time now. That's like we did before with the below the gunnel stuff. Weeks of sanding and painting and drying. These panels are bish bash bosh, whack 'em up, job done.
We're not saying no to it, we're just saying,
It's a fair bit of waste though, because to get the edge sides on, the edge trims, you're basically cutting 2 bits of board and throwing away the rest of the sheet. That's like...
Can you not use something else on the edges? It would look too bad.
Yeah, see, this is what people do. They build these little boxes to run round the side, don't they? Because then they don't have the waste. They can just build a little box that goes along the edge, which we initially didn't like, but no choice really. That's why they do it. There's funny things that you learn. The reason they put those bits at the side is
because
to
of
reduce waste.
And because of the
Just to reduce waste.
Another £50 for that to take a little bit off it. Then no, really.
Bit of a bummer. But I could maybe use this, because that's the width of the side bit. I could use that. I can see. I'm reluctant to throw away that amount of money though.
I'll have to think about it then. See how we
Get Stephen down and help us. If I cut the holes accurately.
Yeah, and do a one fit. We'd have to do a one fit because the 4 of us need to be here to hold this up, or at least get it up onto your.
Yeah. Bloody hell! I never realised it was so heavy. Well, I did when I was carrying it from the car. I went, that's heavy.
You just need to figure out if
the young guy at the yard just kind of whacked it on his shoulder and went, hey, off we go.
He can come down and Right.
It's quite heavy for a fat old man.
Right, well we just have to work out if that's the right thing for the roof.
Yeah, think so.
Gonna...
Another delay.
I don't want to be miserable. You love being miserable.
Bye. It's still raining?
No, it stopped raining.
Alright, okay. Okay.
See you later.
I'll see you later. Go and get dinner on. What are we having? Meatballs.
What?
Meatballs.
Yeah, meatballs. I'll start making them, yeah.
Alright, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Stop raining.
Yeah, I can't stop coming up here and looking at the windows that are closing properly. Oh, I'm sad.
So it was good with Roma here today. As you probably know if you're a regular viewer, I like to bounce things off and try and, canvass different opinions and choose a path. Just habit, big habit. So that's why I kind of talk things through a lot, because most of the time I used to do stuff that hadn't been done before, so there's only one way to figure it out. Right, let's go and find some other wee jobs to do while Roma's making the meatballs. She can give me a phone call and say, right, get home. I'm going, yay, meatballs. Oh, I'm not allowed the spaghetti anymore.
Spaghetti and meatballs is ready.
Still raining, time to go home.
Don't worry, be happy.
So that primer has dried now for the little chips of paint that came off. So time to do the touch-ups. We'll let that dry as well. The weather's not bad today. It's dry, which is brilliant. It's a bit windy, which is okay. It's helping the little paint touch-ups getting tacky. So a bit of an update on the roof lining. We spoke to the boat yard here and they said, yep, 9mm is what you need. It is heavy, you'll need a couple of people to help you, but once it's up, it's okay. So with that in mind, I've started marking out holes for the lights and we'll get them drilled out. It's brilliant. It's not raining. I've been able to get on with the painting, which means I can get the window liners in place now because of all the little chips, and I didn't want anything to rust underneath the liners. But I tell you what, I haven't used that epoxy paint for a few months, and even with the doors and the windows open, I've had to come out because it absolutely stinks and it's giving me a headache. Oh, rain. Now this has arrived at the boatyard today. A cute little half boat. What's that, about 23 feet, something like that. Amazing little thing. Brilliant little weekend boat. They've just done the blacking on it. Somebody will pick that up, and unless it's already somebody's. But yeah, that's a gorgeous little thing. I like the little boats. They're kind of dinky. Don't know if I could live on one, but they're kind of dinky. You know, I don't care that it started to rain. I am enjoying daylight. Train! So a few hours it's been and all the paint is touch dry, but we can see that there's still quite a high spot there. So I'm going to have to file this one down a little bit. But now I know how to fix it, I'm not so worried. Apart from that, while everyone's waiting for paint and dry, it's kind of a day off camera, but yeah, I'm beginning to get things tidied up a lot. And if you're interested, these floor covering things are just, I don't know what you call them, floor coverings, temporary things. My idea is to tape them up so that they're the same size as the solar panels and put them on the roof so that I can accurately gauge where the solar cable entry points are going to be, so that I'm not drilling holes in the top of the shower. Look at that. I haven't seen this side of the boat for months. It was covered in wood and dust and sawdust, so it's all been cleaned up. Just get that box of glue bits to tidy up. I'll do that in a minute. And then I can move everything from this side to that side. That'll give me the port side free for putting in the water pipes. If I ever make the bed, if I ever get the ceiling up, if I ever get the tunnel and horn up. And again, while waiting for paint to dry, I fitted the frame round the toilet cassette hole. I need to make a door, but I'm not quite sure which way the door's going to open yet, because we haven't decided if we're having a cupboard there on the other side or not, or I might just kind of pull it down. We'll see. Hey! It's only been a couple of days of housework. I think I got lucky today with the dryness. It's now absolutely chucking it down, so it was a bit of a guess in timing and get the little touch-ups of paint done. I know I could do the inside bit, but at least that's done and I can go, right, I don't need to worry about that. I've still got the hinges to do. The things Roma and I did yesterday when we were procrastinating about the roof lining is it suddenly dawned on us that there's actually a way to do the roof lining so that we can split it up and get the roof lining up but not worry about the tunnel light and the horn if that's what we need to do. And the solar panel template is just so that can we make sure that you know, where we cut the wood really is where we need access to the wiring. So we had a good that was a good thinking time. I should have done it earlier, but like all of these things, I'm just learning. I don't know half the stuff. I don't know a lot of the stuff actually. But I'm just kind of looking at it, figuring it out, solving the problem, chipping away at it. It's longer than average, I guess, but you know, when you're an amateur, that's what you need to do. And I'm not a carpenter, and I'm not a builder, I'm an IT guy. Early start today. It's a Saturday. Roma's away seeing her sister for the weekend, so what else could I do? Come to the boat. So Roma's already filed down the lump that was catching on the edge of the door. Just need to prime that up now. And there we are. Hinges all sorted. And now to wait the usual 6 hours before I can do anything else. Right, onto the ceiling. So I'm making a template for screw holes. So that the screw is in the middle of each one of these boards, I've got a little template and I've marked out where each screw hole is going to be. So I'm just going to drill them out. When I put the board up, I can put that template on it, and at least then every single screw will be in a straight line and in the same place. Well, that's the theory. I haven't decided screw wise whether I'm just going to use screws, countersink them in and put some filler on them so that you can't see them. I have seen some people doing black screws. I think in a confined space like here, that would be lots of little dots of black, like a felt tip pen has been dotted right along the roof. More procrastinations, just because I have a picture of it in my head. When we come to put the side panels up, that has to be removable, so I'll probably use those little screw caps. So I've just cut my template the same width as the roof battens. That way when I put it up to drill into, I don't need to measure anything, I just line it up. And that's the bedroom roof started. Template's worked out well. I'm a 5mm out in my bulkhead. 5mm. That's annoying. I just fettle that corner in. Now, the reason I'm doing this is we've got friends coming at the weekend, and if I can get this lot primed and painted, then I'll get extra pairs of hands at the weekend that can come up and we can just go bang, bang, bang. So having the template, don't have to measure anything, just put the template up, wax the screw holes in it, get going. I'm just double checking all the measurements and stuff now, rather than going out on the roof. Well, I've been working away for hours how to figure out how to do the front bow bit because it curves in. Unfortunately, it curves that way and slightly different on port and starboard side. So I made a template on that side, but I just can't get it right at all. I think there's going to be a little spliff of filler needed in there. So I'm trying to figure it out. On the other side it's worse because the curve is so different. So I think I'm going to have to go away, get a bit of cheap plywood, 3mm thing. I tried using this board but it's way too flimsy. And get a bit of plywood, something a bit firmer. But it's so difficult to do on your own. I might have to wait until Roma's here and I've got an extra pair of hands, because trying to hold it up even with the props and measure and scribe, it's just a bit awkward. Yeah, so I'll park that one for the moment. So while I've still got some daylight, let's get a little coat of primer on this MDF. Even though it's moisture resistant, it still needs sealing up. So on the template for the bow sealing, I've decided that the only way I can think of doing it is nothing fancy, just measure datum points. So I have the centre line marked out. I've got points 50mm across, and all I'm doing is I'm measuring from the centre to the datum point and marking it on my board. I'm just working through a series of dots which I'll join up and make a cut, and I'm doing the same for port and starboard.
So I had to sleep on it to figure it out. The board, the 4-foot board obviously doesn't reach side to side, but it does at the bottom corners. And I couldn't really scribe. Normally you would scribe, make a block and catch it in. But I can't do that because it's several different awkward angles. So I decided the only way is measure. Got the centre line, measure either side, along, and I've got my datum. I'll cut it and then I can fettle it in with a plane. And I get to try out my Valentine's Day present.
Now there we are, so I just need to trim it in a bit. Wow. Yep, helps when you sleep on something.
Tidy up. Kind of pleased with myself. Another problem solved. Other people might be watching and go, yeah, just do that, mate. But it's all a learning curve. But I'm really pleased that I've got that solved.
What an amazing guy.
So now I can just transfer my template
To my
roof board and just mark it out.
Now I'm about to go and cut some MDF, so mask on.
Now we start the task of 2 coats of primer and 2 coats of top coat. Now before I do that, I've also marked out the holes for the lights using my lights hole template. So I think I'm going to wrap up this week's vlog here. Now, aside from the cruddy weather, there's been another reason why I haven't done too much this week. I didn't really want to start anything big like building the bed or making holes in the roof. Our son and daughter-in-law are about to have their 3rd child and it's absolutely imminent. So he has a 2.5 hour journey to get home. Her dad and I are both retired, but we live about an hour away, and our wives are working in jobs that, well, they can't exactly go, hey, I'm off, bye. I don't think their patients would care for it very much. So I've been on kind of standby with her dad if we need to get up and to the hospital. But it turns out it's going to be another week or so, a week yet, which is really good. But that's why I've just been sitting here going, right, have I got a text? Am I getting a phone call? If I had started drilling holes in the roof, inevitably, I think I would have got a call that said, come now. And I'm going, I've got a hole in my roof. It's raining. So, yeah. That's what's been going on. It's been a productive week. Lots of things done despite the weather, despite logistics. And I am really pleased we got the bow doors resolved once and for all. And it's taken me, 2 episodes and a bit? Probably 3 weeks in total to get these darn doors sorted. So next week, it's a case of good, the wood can go in and glued up, and that's just a day's job. So, thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. We have a lot of viewers that view the channel but don't subscribe. So if you click the subscribe button on YouTube, doesn't cost anything. Gosh, I sound like a YouTuber. Yeah, click the subscribe button and click the little bell icon and you'll get a reminder every week when we release a new video on a Monday. Until next time.